All right, what's going on, everybody? Isaac Fleischer here, and welcome to another iHoopsFL interview. Now, before we begin, make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, iHoopsFL. I post all these interviews that I've ever done, all the highlights, all the best clips. I post all that stuff on my Instagram at iHoopsFL. And for you guys, maybe want to see any of the other work that I've done around the world of basketball, I also post all the articles that I've written for a company down here in South Florida. I actually recently got one published today on a Little Rock commit. I spoke to him, did a little article on that, someone light. That's on my Twitter at iHoopsRecruits, along with some recent recruitment info I've been getting about some of these guys that I've interviewed in the past. But anyways, enough about me. Let me bring on our guest right now. What's good, my guy? How you been?
Good. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty well, man. You're staying safe?
Yep, you know me. Gotta go to school, get my job done, come back home, lock down.
Yeah. When you say job done, do you mean like yes, like school's your job, or do you actually have a literal job?
Nah, no job. My job's basketball and getting into school work.
Yeah, that's how. I mean, luckily, that's how it is for me too. I mean, it technically, I can't imagine. Well, I guess like if I never like did this, or if you never played basketball, I'm sure you probably have a job like every other kid. But I don't know too many people that kind of do both. Like that's just crazy. You feel me?
Yeah, there's no way I can do both.
And I guess let's get right into the interview. So this is pretty much what not a ton of people know about you, but even me, like I almost kind of give everybody that I interviewed, like I give the interview like a nickname almost. Like the person I talked to yesterday, he was like vegan for a little bit, so I'm calling it like that's the vegan interview. So for you, I mean, I might need to refer this as the mask interview because when you committed, you chose to announce your decision not with a hat, not with t-shirt or jersey of your school on it, but you chose to put a mask on. And I just remember the day when I got the ESPN alert and it said high school hoops recruits RJ Keene reveals college choice with mask. So what led you to that decision to decide what school you're going to and displaying it on a mask?
I mean, it was the easiest decision of my life. I had a great relationship with the coaching staff at Boise State and the commit going in there, and I knew we were the news channel and KPRC. We knew we wanted to do something special for my commitment. We knew it was a great time to do it because it was a downtime in sports, and we knew we could make a splash with it. And we ran with the mask, and no one's done the mask. We put all six masks on the table, and I chose one, like a traditional hat choice, but instead I did mask.
And just out of curiosity, like, are you kind of like a super, like, do you got to make sure everyone wears a mask, or are you just like, I think it's just different, that's why I did it, or are you one of the kind of those, coronavirus freaks?
No, personally, I just go with the flow. I do what my governor says, when to wear a mask, when not to wear a mask. At the time, there was no basketball AU because no one was wearing masks and Corona was spreading. They're making a big deal out of it. It was more like a little publicity stunt. I mean, I'm gonna say to wear a mask because there might be a 10-year-old kid who won't wear a mask, and then boom, no AU season because people are not wearing masks. And what do you know? We didn't have a UIBL, so
I mean, not gonna think about it. Like if you almost put it on and said like, all right, I'm committed to Boise State, also wear your mask. I mean, that could have, it could have gone like CNN or something like that. Because now now you're setting like a whole message for the whole
I
almost the
think it
whole
did.
world, to be honest.
It did go on CNN. So
Oh, wait, it went on
because
CNN too.
yeah, it went. I think every big stream platform.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I mean, that's just unbelievable. I thought it was like all the sports stuff. I didn't even think CNN. But anyways, was that your idea to wear the mask, or was it maybe the news channels?
It
Who
was like
came
a
up
it
with
was
that?
like a group effort. I'm gonna give credit to my guy from the news channel. He came up with it, and we ran with it, and it was perfect.
And obviously, this is nothing like being on your local news channel. Just what was that like? I guess having a close relationship, not with just an individual member that kind of has their own media page like myself, or maybe a filmer for Ball is Life, but it was like a whole a news station or at least someone you were talking to. How's that kind of all work? Having a relationship like with a channel like that.
Oh, it's very cool. The anchor that does Houston, his name's Ari Alexander. I mean, he does a great job, and he's a good guy. And his life is crazy. He goes to certain places a day. He goes to Houston Texans, does these interviews with Astros. He knows what he's doing, and I respect what he does. And he's creative himself. His Twitter feed's pretty cool, and I keep up with everything sports related.
Yeah, it definitely is super cool. And did you have any idea that that was going to blow up like it did?
I mean, I knew it was going to do very well, but I didn't think I was going to go mainstream viral. But I can't tell you, I didn't think my expectations were high. My expectations are high for everything. And I knew it was gonna do pretty good. I didn't think it was gonna do that well as it did, but it did pretty well.
And just after you committed, I mean, one, like after every player commits, their phone's blowing up with, congratulations, or maybe I'm sure some guys are like, I'll beat you one on one too. Then you got the haters coming in as well. So you got all that stuff, blowing up your phone with congratulations for your commitment. But then you also got your phone blowing up with a ton of news stations, a ton of mainstream media hitting you up, maybe trying to ask for the clip and just putting your content or your commitment on their page. So how did that feel right after you committed with just all that noise just all coming to you at once?
I mean, I took it as the most professional approach I could, and I answered every phone call, answered every text, and I responded to everybody. And I mean, people hated. Everyone's gonna hate. I mean, I went through the comments. I think I went through every comment just because I wanted to see what people were saying. And people were like, "Oh, why did he commit with the mask? He's weak. He committed with the mask," and just stuff like that. But I knew what I was doing, and you have an idea, and I'm pretty smart with everything of what I do and how I market myself. And I ran with it, and it ended up being good. And I just approached every interview person with the same, basically, sort of answer and respect, and mainly why. I mean, I started from right when I committed at noon, and then I remember the last article I did was at 10:30 with a dude from ESPN on the phone.
Yeah, it sounds unbelievable. And you said how you handle everything very professionally. Was this like your first experience, with fame or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's I wouldn't call it fame. I call it like a little mainstream viral, I guess I would say. Um, I mean, yeah, I consider first time. I mean, I had a couple of videos on count TikTok, couple maybe 3 million on that. I mean, get a good amount of followers, but other than that, not really sort of fame. I mean, I'm going to Boise State. It's not like I'm the number one player in the country going to Duke or something.
Definitely. And real quick, I was gonna have you. Can you just refresh your page real quick because it's lagging like a tad bit. I want to see how smooth you could get this thing. So just, refresh the tab. He already knows what to do. So he'll be right back here in 1 second. So while we do that, we'll just wait for him. Should be any minute now. No worries, guys. I might have to DM him and tell him just to hop back in, but he should know what he's doing. It's weird. It might have been myself. All right, I don't think it was myself. Yeah, so just stay tuned, guys. He'll be right back. Actually, while he does that, I'm actually going to refresh my thing right now as well. So hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry if you guys are replaying this thing. Just stay tuned. Probably keep doing the double tap thing for 10 seconds. Then, it'll happen. All right, let's see. It should be a little bit better now. I think my thing was kind of bugging a little bit too. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, mine was fine. I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you can see if you ever feel like replaying it. Like it was like lagging a little bit. That was like on myself. I think it was kind of both of us to be honest. But
Maybe I don't know.
it's
Where we at?
But continuing on to the interview, so in the year 2020, I think you said how you just got a ton of offers. I mean, and I've talked to a lot of guys like you got all these offers kind of late, but I mean for you, like you got majority of your offers in 2020. So what was that whole process like? Just going through quarantine, but also pretty much your phone was blowing up every single day with offers right before your senior year.
Yeah, I mean, it was different. I mean, right when quarantine got shut down, literally the day it got shut down, I got a phone call from Rick Pitino, and then I got offered from Iona. And then once I got that offer, it just started a train effect and a little domino effect. And then boom, the rest came in. I took it everything cautious. I broke down every school of how I fit in academically, spiritually, and as a player. And I just took that and I ran with it, released the top six sooner than later. People thought I should wait, but I knew where I was going when I released the top six. And I knew what was the best fit for me.
And I ask a ton of guys whether in that scenario where they just don't get offers, so accumulating your career. I mean, all that came before your senior year. So I mean, you really could have been in a completely different scenario today. I mean, luckily, a lot of success ended up coming at the right time. But were you at all nervous? Like, well, what if this doesn't work out the way I had it planned?
I'm zero. I'm not nervous at all. I mean, I got an amazing relationship with everybody at Boise State, and I mean, I just got a text message from them right now that my NLI is going to be delivered on Friday and signed. And I have an amazing relationship with everyone. And the basketball is pretty darn good there, considering where they're at. And I think they're ranked, 31 in the nation, preseason pool. And they're expected to make a big run this year. And I've got big shoes to fill the year after. And I want to play very badly. And I think I can impact in a good way.
Yeah, well, I'm not even saying like not even in terms of your basketball career, not even in terms of why you went to Boise State and all that stuff. I'm just talking about in terms of your basketball career in general. Like, because again, you got majority of your offers in 2020. I mean, Boise State could never have heard about you or anything like that. So like, you weren't nervous at all that maybe like none of these offers were going to come in and you're maybe going to be stuck with those two schools from like a year ago or something like that.
No, because when I thought there was gonna be an AU season, and then all of a sudden I got offers thinking there still was gonna be an AU season, and then I kept getting offers thinking there's gonna be an AU season, and then by the time I think AU season canceled, I was at like 18 offers. So I was like, it just happened at the same time, and I was like, it's like perfect timing. I mean, I want to play AU so bad, but oh well, Boise's the move, and I know it's meant to be. I love it.
And for most guys, they say, like they were just waiting to see me during the AAU season, or if there was an AAU season, I would be better off. But for you, you were getting offers without playing basketball. So I even like, how did that happen? Where you're picking up tons of offers, just pretty much, almost sitting on your couch and playing poker or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was just chilling at home and just basically doing me. And then all of a sudden, my phone started blowing up. It's just because all the schools that wanted to come watch me, they know if they don't offer or recruit me right now, they're going to miss out. And I have good film, and I played very well in my junior season. And they went off that, sent a bunch of games, and I had to sit on a bunch of Zoom calls, and it was good. I mean, quarantine was pretty good. I hanged out with my friends and made sure I was corona free.
And obviously, because a lot of kids, they say, I'm sorry for kind of repeating that saying with a lot of kids, but, a lot of kids will say, if I had an AAU season, I would get these offers, but it's because they want to see me play in person. But for you, it was almost like once it canceled, they were like, oh, well, I guess I was going to need to offer before seeing him and take the risk. Just how special of a prospect does that make you, knowing that they kind of gave up on the whole seeing you in person and waiting, and they were just like, we're going to risk it. We're just going to go for him right away. Just how special of a prospect are you?
I mean, to be honest, I'm blessed, and I hope I'm doing everything the right way. And I feel like I approach my recruitment better than anyone I know. Approach the recruitment. I've asked questions of where I would fit, and I asked questions to former people like my buddy who goes to Sam Houston State of how he got recruited and what he should have done, and just took everything for granted. And I ran with it, and I'm pumped of how it came out. And I knew it was going to come out good, and hopefully come out even better next year.
And your final six ended up having all mid-major schools, and I'm assuming you did have offers, or at least you went a couple visits to high-major schools. So why did you decide to commit to a mid-major school?
All six of those schools had my playing style and just my fit, and I had a good relationship with every coach in that six. And it was unique about each school. And to be honest, I didn't really want to post the top six, but I just posted the top six because then just let people know I was committing in 2 weeks.
And just, again, all mid-major schools, all that stuff, so they all fit you very well. So that's obviously, it was great in itself. But do you have some sort of mid-major pride?
Yeah, I mean, technically I haven't played in a mid-major. I've been recruited by probably every mid-major school in the country and probably almost a ton of high-major schools. And uniquely mid-major pride, I feel like if you're winning games, people recognize you, and who cares where you're playing at. I mean, I can say Boise State's better than a couple Power 5 schools I can list right now, but there's no room for calling out because everyone deserves their respect. And I feel like Boise State is the right move, and mid-major Boise State, I'm pretty sure in about 5 years, maybe they won't be mid-major anymore.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, at least Boise State, you like that is probably one of the top mid majors in the country. Just because, or would you consider the American Conference mid major?
Yeah, I mean, there's a power six. I would say there's like a power six in basketball, and then you have the American and Mountain West and the Atlantic 10 are the two best mid majors, the three best mid majors in the country, which probably their top four teams are probably better than the bottom of Power Five, like Power Fives conferences, and it's
And also
proven. Trust
the
me.
Ivy League too. The Ivy League as well. I know I saw like Princeton play Miami, and Princeton almost beat them. And then I think I saw a stat. I remember there's some sports book I used to read like every year as a kid, like the new edition, and I said like think either like Brown I think upset some team in the tournament, like and the Ivy League teams were like on a 2 year streak of making it to at least second round of the tournament. Like a lot of the we think maybe in terms of basketball, a lot of the mid major schools could really compete with the high majors. I know in football it's like little bit different, but we're saying in
Oh
terms
yeah,
of
because they're
basketball,
grown men. But yeah, Ivy League's lopsided. I mean, there's like four good teams every year in Ivy League, and that's it. That's the only problem about Ivy League. And they play on Friday, Saturday, back to back. And schoolwork is a lot of schoolwork. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but it's just what it is.
yeah, nothing with the Ivy League, but like, would you say in terms of basketball, I guess any school you go to, like, would you even say basketball is a more competitive sport in college compared to football? Because I feel like with football, if a high major school is playing a mid major school, unless it's I guess maybe Boise State, which could be considered a high major for football at least, like those matches are a lot more lopsided. They even call them like cupcake games, for football. But would you say in basketball, it's a lot more competitive with every single team and it's I guess maybe one of the more competitive sports with every single Division One school.
Yeah, it's definitely the most competitive. I mean, I think baseball would probably be the most competitive, and then basketball would be second, but football is definitely third. There's a reason why there's two Division One. There's two divisions in Division One. Football,
Oh
there's a
yeah,
FBS and FCS. There's a reason for that because the mid majors and low majors can't compete with the high majors because the high majors have bigger dudes and football used to be bigger in basketball. It's more skilled based. If that makes sense. And then baseball is definitely Coastal Carolina won it all a couple of years back. You can come from anywhere and win in baseball. I mean D2 teams are better than national championships in D1s. It's just proven. So that's what I would think about it.
how do you know so much about Division One baseball? That's a little bit of a like even on ESPN. That's not like one of their main I guess sports you could pick.
I mean I follow every
Like
sport
you
I can follow.
have to go like
So I'm
even add that as like an alert for on ESPN. How do you know so much about
Yeah, I
that?
mean, baseball. I grew up playing baseball. My grandpa was in baseball. He's president of Rawlings. So, I mean, I have a good understanding about baseball. It's like, I love baseball. I love everything about baseball. It's just I pick basketball because it's more competitive.
For sure. And obviously in Texas, I'm sure that those high school football games are probably no joke as well. But sticking to your family, so you mentioned to me how I think your dad was like, number 2 recruit in the country or something like that when he was playing. You said McDonald's All-American, all that good stuff that very few guys get experience in their whole life. So just how does it feel having your dad just go through this whole process with you, knowing that he's experienced it as well when he was a kid at your age?
I mean, he laid out the blueprint for me. He knew what I had to do, and he told me all the mistakes he made and what I need to do. And he was the best for it. I mean, I made my recruitment. It was my decision. It wasn't anybody else's decision, and I ran with it.
And all due respect to your dad, but I don't think I've like I don't even know his first name yet. I just know because of your last name. But do a lot of people maybe in your hometown kind of know like, oh, his dad was an elite basketball player, and do people kind of use that against you?
No, not at all. I mean, my dad's hometown is in Illinois, and then mine down here. Barely know who he is just because of the fact that the basketball community does, and they know he's legit. But I've proven time and time that I can compete with anyone at any time, and my game translates that whenever. So I'm confident, and I play with a good amount of confidence, and you have to, or you won't make it.
So did you never have to deal with any of that like trash talk from crowds, like he's only good because of his dad or something like that? Because that stuff that even happens like in those like middle school games or like elementary school games with like the parents or kids kind of hate on the kids of their dads. So did you ever have to deal with that at
Nah,
all?
heck no. I mean, I've played in a bunch of games where the crowd goes right after me. But most of those crowds don't do their research good enough to find out my dad was a very good basketball player. They just do the research to find whatever they can find. And I love it. And I love playing true away games with no home crowd. It's what I live for.
Uh, I feel like some people may say, I live for just a great, good home game or something like that with a great crowd. But you said you like when I guess everyone pretty much is hating on you and coming for your neck in the crowd at least. So why'd you make that statement?
I mean, it's just straight up. I mean, we have our first game of the year. This is supposed to be a neutral site game, but we're playing it away, and they won't let a home fans. And I told my coach I like it even better, just because it's going to be more competing and more people coming after us. And I like that. If you don't have a chip on your shoulder, what are you playing for?
Definitely, yeah, that is. I don't think for myself. Were you ever nervous at some point where maybe in the beginning of your basketball career in high school, like, oh, people are hurting my feelings, or were you never able to get that to come to your head? Because I don't think I don't really played like, yeah, I've played in one away game before, but like it was JV and there's like no fans there, obviously, so it wasn't really anything. But I just can't imagine just playing a basketball game and having people just scream like bad things at you and all that stuff. How were you able to handle that throughout your career, never let it get to your head?
You just don't listen to them. It's the easiest thing. Once you're zoned in, you're zoned in. I mean, I've been doing this since freshman year, and I ended up embracing it. And I've been starting on varsity since a freshman. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm pumped. I enjoy the away games. I enjoy a nice crowd against us. You don't get that too much in high school, and I love it. And I love even a home crowd for us too. I love that too. But COVID, I hate COVID. So who cares? No crowd and whatever. I'm going with the flow now.
And if you had to pick, would you rather, I guess, sold out home game, everyone's rooting for you, or sold out away game, everyone's
Home
rooting?
game, 1000%. Family, friends, all my guys. And I play for each other, and I play for my teammates, and I play for my school. It's who I represent. So I'd definitely say home game.
Yeah, I mean, I was hoping for maybe a very unique away game response, but I mean, I'm kind of fine with the.
No, I'm not that cocky. I'm not that. I wouldn't say that. Ain't nobody wants it. I mean, it depends on what you're going for. Like, it depends on what team you're facing. I mean, if you're facing a really good team and they're known for having a good student section, oh, heck yeah, I want to play away. I want to experience that and see what they have to offer. But if it's a really good team at home, why not?
Yeah, honestly, I think for myself, I maybe even agree with this too, but I never made an option. I think I would pick a 50-50 game where, it's like half the bleachers, all your friends, like everyone from your school, and the other half, the other school. Because I feel like those are the best where it's not like everyone's kind of all in unison in the crowd where it's like, this one side screaming this, the other side screaming that. I think I'd personally pick that, my opinion.
Yeah, you're right. That's a pretty good one.
Yeah, but I never made that an option, so it's not like you could have even said anything. But moving on to the interview, you kind of touched on it a little bit before, but why did you end up choosing Boise State?
Style of play, right fit, great relationship with the coaching staff, great relationship with the other commit coming in. I like the conference they're in. I like how they play, and I like their track record and what they're going to do. Just everything about it. I mean, it was the most easy decision ever made and the most right decision. I'm went up there once already to check it out, and I fell in love with it, and I'm riding with it.
And what is that style of play that you said just fits you so perfectly?
It's a brand of basketball where I can be me, and they had a dude named Justinian Jessup come in, about 6'7" lefty who can shoot the ball very well, and that's what I can do. So I just thought it'd be perfect enough for me to come in.
Wait, you didn't say, wait, you're left-handed?
No, 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 I'm right.
Oh, okay. 'Cause, man, I was gonna say like, left-handed bros, but I guess not. And what are you looking forward to most about just going to college?
Basic competition. I want to play against the best of the best, and I want to show where I can belong, and I want to go basically live on my own and kind of be free.
And living on your own is definitely very nice, but you say you do have a great relationship with the other Boise State commit. So how have you been able to form that bond with somebody that's not even on your team yet?
I mean, he's a great guy. I love him. Tyson's a cool dude, and I want to play with him. And I saw how he can play, and we're gonna be amazing together.
And how were you guys able to meet each other? Like, did you just kind of like, DM it on Instagram or something like that, or did the coaches put you two together? How were you able to
Yeah,
form?
Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, messages, I mean, everything. I got a random phone call from him, and I saw Spokane, Washington. And I'm like, I answered it, said, "What's up, coach?" Because I don't know, maybe some random coach calling me, but it's Tyson from Boise. I'm like, just let you know, dude, I'm committing in a couple days.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. And you just told me so. When you get a random phone call, like I guess you usually assume it's a coach, and why you gotta have the mentality? You're so confident on who you're talking to.
I mean, I started approaching that role when I was getting recruited, to say what's up, coach, even if I don't even know the number. And they'll be like, "Whoa, I didn't know you had my number." I'm like, "I knew it was you." And I mean, even though I can just hear it from their voice, and if it says Spokane, Washington, I knew the Boise State head coach is from Spokane, but I ended up being wrong. That was the only time I was wrong.
Yeah, it's definitely I don't know. I'd be like if I get a random phone call, I just kind of say like hi or hello because I mean I have no idea. I'd
I
be looking.
stopped answering random phone calls. I just go right to just text them, be like, "What's up? Sorry, missed your call. It's RJ Keene." That's all I
Yeah,
do.
I would do the same thing. With sometimes like now that I'm kind of doing this, I mean you never know who the call could be from, especially when I don't lock in the person's number and I'm kind of expecting a call from like a number I don't really know. That's kind of pick up every call. I mean, worst case is hang up immediately and whatever, just go on with life.
Yeah, trust me. I might have to go pick up my brother from school in a minute, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, if you could just, well, I don't know, are you on your phone or computer?
Computer. I mean, no phone.
Okay, I mean, you can always like carry on your phone, like so Instagram Live. It's not that big of a
I
deal. But
I I I've basically I'm just shirtless. I go put some. I go shower and do all that jazz.
yeah, no worries. We'll try to make it as fast as we can. So, anyways, what are your goals while you're in college?
I want to win as many games as I can. I want to show that Boise State can compete with anyone, which they already have done that. And I want to make a splash in March Madness and also win a lot of conference championships in the Mountain West.
And going to college, obviously, sounds for basketball. It's a school as well. Do you have any idea what you'll be majoring in over there?
No idea. I'm gonna pick shortly, actually, too. So, like, I'm gonna want to make my decision by Christmas time.
Are you leaning towards like any sort of majors or nothing
No,
yet?
no, no, no. I want to do what's best for me and what I like, and I'm doing a bunch of these tests of what degree I would fit best in and what would be the easiest schedule for me at Boise, and also more like what would make my future, like I would say, brighter. I would say, I guess.
Yeah, and now that you are committed, what are some of the goals for the rest of your high school career?
Ooh, I want to go win a state championship game, and I want to go win as many games as I can. And I want to get my other teammates some good exposure and make them look good.
And mentioning teammates, I mean that was pretty much a kind of perfect segue into my question. My next question, you told me how you've recruited a few guys to come to your school to Concordia Lutheran out there in Texas. So how have you been able to do that? Recruiting guys to come to your high school, and what's that all like? The high school recruitment.
It's easy. I'm good friends with a bunch of people up north that play basketball, and I just tell them the same thing every time. Like, dude, you want to go win a bunch of games? You want to play the best record? You want to play the best teams? You want to play under a great coach? You want to play under a great school? You want to go where people like basketball? And how do you say no to that? You can't. And I just told them, dude, I already committed. It's your time. You'll get a lot of looks, and I could care less. I'll go for the assist lead if I have to. You'll get the buckets.
And you say like you can't say no to that, but I got pretty much one thing you could do to say no to that, unless you meant I guess up north in Texas. But I mean, if it's not maybe in the same state as you, like I say, like I'm not trying to move my whole family for high school. Like there's like thousands of schools in my own state. Why do I need to move? I mean, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, I mean, people transfer out left and right, but you want to stay and have actually a homecoming, and you want to have a prom, or you want to go to a prep school where you don't have that. You don't get that traditional high school experience while you're getting a good basketball, basically experience too.
Definitely, and luckily, so we kind of made this thing go kind of fast, but I'm glad we did. Actually, I'm gonna have two more questions left. One, just because you did commit so early, and you kind of explain how you almost just put your recruitment. But once you kind of got like a few offers, you're like, all right, just gonna decide. Why did you decide to almost pause your recruitment, or not pause it, to stop it, commit early, even though a ton of guys are just waiting it out to see as much offers as they can get?
I knew the transfer rule coming in January, where these schools will go after transfers instead of high school recruits, and I know what schools fit me the best, and I'm a smart kid, and I just go under that, and whatever is best for me is what's going to be best for everyone.
And I'm assuming, I mean, kind of saying like, you're not really a cocky guy, but just at least for me, like, I think I'd personally, want to weigh it out. Just I want to make sure I make the best decision I possibly can. How confident were you that, at least those top six schools you listed, like you were like, yep, these schools, they're the perfect schools for me, not knowing whatever else is out there.
I mean, the phone calls I made with the coaches It's just easy, most easy decision of my life, and I knew from going in there like where I was going, and I knew Boise was the right fit all along.
I get just what made it so easy because you never know. Like there's probably like 1,000 at least,
It
Division One.
wasn't easy. I mean, it was hard. I mean, I stressed about it left and right. I was flip flopping between every school, thinking how if I put my shoes on the court with them, like how would I pan out? And I just kept on narrowing it down day by day. And then Boise ended up being the last one standing, and it was the last one by a ton.
And can you maybe take us through the process of narrowing down a school? How does that work? Like once you got your top six, like do you maybe like write it all on a paper and like list pros and cons? How do you like literally narrow it down to one school?
I mean, you got to think of their location, you got to think of their conference, you got to think of the coaches, you got to think of mainly the relationship with the head coach. That's the most important thing, and relationship with the assistant coaches. The head coach putting you in the game, the players coming in, and Boise State had players hitting me up. Great relationship with the head coach, great relationship with assistant coaches. I love Boise in general. I love the conference, so it was just the easiest thing. I mean, other schools had all like maybe 4 or 5 of that, but Boise had all 5.
Oh, so I guess what you did was maybe kind of had like a list of the 5 things you really wanted, and then it kind of like saw which ones applied to the most.
Yeah.
All right, and then my final question for you is, what do you want to accomplish once you step away from the game of basketball?
Oh, I wanna have a family, and I want to make sure I just have a great, no regrets, and I want to live the best life I can and most productive, and that can help the economy and help anything I can do.
That sounds awesome. And before we end the show, is there anything you want to plug or anybody you want to shout out?
I don't know. I mean, it's been shout out. I probably shout out my family for supporting me and signing day. Shout out Boise State.
All right, sounds good. Well, anyways, make sure you guys give us a follow on Instagram at RJ Keene, then 2 eyes at the end, and I'm at iHoopsFL. And anyways, for 2021 4-star shooting guard and Boise State commit RJ Keene. I'm Isaac Fleischer, and this has been another iHoopsFL interview. Peace out, guys.